Albanian blood. Not a gang, need my hand like I'm John Alite. On my brain, Benjamins like I'm John Alite. John Alite.
So it's another week of the Johnny and Gene show, and this is Gene, my co-host.
What's going on, everybody?
And I want to hit a subject that for the younger generation, more that you would know about this, Gene, than myself. But
Right.
I took notice to something recently, and I've been listening to a lot of music of really a dope artist. Actually, I thought he was great, and he's full of energy, and he's got a positive message that is real. And something about this kid, when I watch him, he reminds me of a guy, Chi-Chi, that's a good friend of mine from MS-13, who got out of the life, and we're going to have him on the show, my friend Chi-Chi. And I just flew out to Arizona, and I seen my friend Chi-Chi recently. And this kid really reminds me of him because he's so full of life, and he's so real, and you've got a lot of haters. And people hate people that are doing good. You know that, Gene.
Of course.
Everybody's doing good, they're hating on the guy. But this guy hit the music world, and he's incredible. And there's no stopping this kid from what I see. And he's right down the alley of what we talk about. And it doesn't got to be mob kids, but any gang kids that we are speaking up for and trying to save lives. And this kid just has a great message. And
Absolutely, man. And what I was noticing is that people don't even care what he did because they know when he explained himself, he explained what they did to him, and why is he going to be loyal, like the same thing we say, to something that has no loyalty. Like, he made such a great example for it. You know what I mean?
Well, introduce who we're talking about.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, man. It's like, I got to be honest with you. I seen his song. I was dying laughing. I said, this kid, I like that. I like what he's doing. And, he explained it so well. Why would I stay loyal to something that is not loyal to me? Look what they're doing to me while I'm away, everything. So why would I be loyal? And he has so many people loving him still. And I really like what's going on with him. I do. There's some good stuff.
And I got to tell you, this is not my generation. He's a young kid. So
Right.
when I'm looking at him and I'm listening to his music, I'm saying, hey, this kid really is a dope kid. I mean, This kid really, and he had a hard life. He ain't a spoon-fed kid.
Nah.
He watched his stepfather die in front of him when he was a little kid. And, you're going to get people hating because he hit the music world that I never seen it. This kid really is incredible. I've been listening to him, watching his videos, and I get a kick out of how much energy he has.
He's breaking all the records, Johnny. Everything. So people are still loving this kid, and I like it. I really like what he did, and his message is the same thing that we say. Why stay loyal to something that has no loyalty? Like, what's the point? And he's so right when he said that. So we definitely could relate to this kid.
Well, I want to give you a fact that so people out there understand. There's about 170,000 people, guys, doing life right now in different prisons. And he said something. I don't know if he understood what he said or not, but he said, my life, I'm not giving it up for anybody, and I'm going to live my life and enjoy it. And I really don't know too many people that are going to play that hard role, and I'm going to stand for something, because guys like, and I mentioned on our last show, Angelo Prisco, who was a powerful captain in Genovese family, he got involved and did a hit for himself and the family, and they just forget about you. So that belief that someone doesn't forget about you, and it's obvious because of what I talked about. Lito is in, who was an associate that was involved in the hit, testified against Angelo, and
Right.
He went into their backyard and is making millions in the construction industry that I walked him into, actually. And I look back and I say, it's not about Lito, it's not about Prisco. It's just about, this is reality of the street. You're just gone, you're gone. No one cares. There is no soldiering up and all that nonsense that people believe in. And I brought this up on show after show, how many bosses and everybody rats. So if this young kid didn't rat and didn't, whatever word they want to use, cooperate or whatever they want to say, they would have gave him up, just like they do to all of us. So, my situation, everybody knows by now.
Right. Not only that, when he went into jail, they were going after him. So your own people's targeting you. They were mad at him. The kid was in a bad situation, and it's so funny because he was taking care of people, and all they're doing is going with his girlfriend, doing this. Why would you be loyal to something like that? I could relate to him so much. It's like when I got locked up, everybody turned and just didn't care. I know what he went through. I could see, what would make you turn like that, because I went through the same thing, and so did you. You know what I mean?
So I think what the thing is usual. It's jealousy. This kid's hit the music world like nobody's hit it in a long time. And we're mob guys. So we were guys that were hitters and shooters, and he doesn't know us personally, but he might have heard of us, whatever his situation is. But I got to stand by this, what his message is. And what our message is exactly him, actually. He's one of the guys we talk about because people are jealous of him because of a lot of reasons. Just what I said over and over again. He's an energetic little bastard. I mean, this guy is full of life. And you got to really look up to this kid as a young kid for other kids to say, hey, man, this kid his life shouldn't be in a jail cell somewhere for 40 years or 50 years. For what? So he's going to come out and he's going to spread love through his music. He has all kinds of kids from every country following him. He's a positive role model. I don't care what he dresses like, because that's, again, everybody dresses and acts and looks whatever role they want to look. But he's actually, you can see the kid's full of energy, good heart. He's got so much life in him. And that's the thing that caught me, the amount of life this guy's got in him. And I'm going to go back to the 170,000 guys doing life. Right. If nobody knew, and someone could go up to them after they did 10 years or 15 or 20 years in a sentence, and if they really want to keep it real, and a prosecutor went up to them and said, listen, I'm going to give you freedom, but you need to come in now, and you need to tell us what you know. I guarantee I'd had 170,000, 160,000 of them come in.
Absolutely.
They want their life back. There is no soldiering up. All these guys know people left. And there might be some real hardcore guys, but very few. And the hardcore guys, they're not impressing anybody, but maybe they just feel like their lives ain't worth the hit in the street. Maybe they don't like themselves that much. Maybe they don't love. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I just know that you only get one go around at this life. It's precious. And, I'm behind this kid, and I back this kid is what I'm getting at. And any of us that are on the street or involved with us, we're looking to make sure that this kid continues with his positive message. Right. And we're for him. That's really my message today in the show, is to talk about somebody like this kid that really, I hope he's careful. I hope he watches who he keeps around him. And same thing with any security he keeps around him. If they get disgruntled, those are the first guys that'll give him up. I don't think he understands the idea of killing the way we do. And, I hope he stays safe, and he understands he's got to be a very tight-knit couple people around him, and that's it. His family that's very close to him. And when he travels, he's got to make sure people don't know where he's at.
Right.
But for now.
And also, you understand like for us, the mafia is kind of washed up. He's told to cooperate against the Bloods. They're still very active, still very dangerous. And, he's a young kid, and he's only like 22 years old, I think, and maybe he's not understanding the seriousness. So I like what he said. Made so much sense to me when he was talking about, like, why would I stay loyal to something that has no loyalty to me? And what he was saying, he really said, wow, it's exactly what I felt and what you felt, So I'm really happy for the kid. I'm happy he's out, and I'm happy. What's making me more happy is that he's still doing good, and that's what makes people more mad. Is the fact that this kid did what he did, but people still love him. Nobody cares. This ain't the 60s. That shit's over. That shit, cooperation.
He raps about that. He says ha ha and haters, and again, he's sitting on a pile of money, making a pile of money, and good for him. Right. Don't hate on the guy. He's got all kinds of girls around him. He's on the beach. He's he's got beautiful homes now, and he's got a family that loves him, and that's really what's important. Who his family members are, his friends around him, and the people that are his fans. If they're true fans, they're going to stick by him no matter what for his talents, man. This kid is talented. Nobody can take that from him, and they can hate all they want, but he's a talented kid.
And you know what gets me mad? Like, these rappers are saying things about him. Half these rappers ain't about nothing. They're rapping about things they never did in their life. Maybe they seen it or something. They're talking to this kid like, oh, you're a rat, you this, you that. Bro, you never did nothing in your life either. You lived in the suburbs, talking about you from the projects. Like, no, everybody knows, like, a lot of these rappers are, like, just pretenders. And this kid, I feel bad for him in a way. Like, he's young, he got screwed over by his own people. And I like the fact that he's out there like that. I really do, man.
The thing is, he is out there. I hope he stays safe, and I hope he understands. It only takes one bullet with one kid to pull that trigger. And, he could be 14, he could be 15. Right. He could be an up-and-coming guy that wants to be a gang member, is easily influenced. And he's got to understand that, the people that talk about him, they're not involved with him or his thing. of guys in his gang or whatever went on, that's between them and him, not these outside guys that are stepping in and talking about him. And I don't think, honestly, I'm watching the kid and listening to the kid, and I observed the kid, and this is what I did for a living in a more serious manner with some serious mobsters. So I think he doesn't lose a wink of sleep about it. I don't really think he cares, and which, good for him. He knows how to stand on his own 2 feet, send his own message, live by his own rules, and I like it.
Hey, it bothered me. There was one rapper that made a comment. This guy, Boozy, whatever he calls badass, whatever, says, "Oh, if the Bloods don't do nothing to him, they're pussy." How are you gonna send that kind of message over the internet? What kind of guy are you? You're saying to hurt the kid. It's like you're a pretender too. Why would you say something like that on the internet? That's like dry snitching yourself. You're basically like, these people all want to pretend like they're gonna hurt somebody and do something. Why would you hurt don't promote that, man. Why would you promote to hurt that kid or something like that? You're a cornball, and you would never say something like that to me. That's all I have to say. So, don't pick on someone that's, not streetwise. I don't like that, So that's all I gotta say. Tekashi's a good kid, man.
I say the same thing. He's pro-life and he's pro-positive. And back to what we're doing. It's a message to save kids, and he knows what it was to be locked in those cages. I can't even imagine this kid locked in. And I'm not talking about being tough and all that. He doesn't have to be a tough guy to be a man. He's a talented kid that deserves to keep his freedom. And he doesn't end his life like Biggie did or Tupac or any of these guys. And this kid deserves to live his life. I can't even see this kid being locked up in a cage. He's so energetic. I get a kick out of watching him because he's really an energetic kid. So, and he's such a positive guy in the music industry that he's got to realize he's got so much influence on some of these young kids coming up that when he raps, he needs to rap thinking about saving some of these kids' lives so they don't put themselves in a position he got himself into. So, right now he has an influence really by the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he sings. He exuberance life. He really exuberance life. I never seen a kid that really amazes me like this kid has when I started watching him. So really, kudos to this kid really from a guy in my generation who's a lot older than you guys that look at him and say, hey, don't worry about the haters, because I don't think he is worried about the haters.
And also, he got caught up with this gang stuff, and when he was young, and he probably got caught up when he was 15 years old, 16 years old, like a kid. And I like to say the kid's really saying the same thing, like he's trying to change, trying to do the right thing, and he's trying to, he has a lot of people hating on him and coming at him. I feel bad for the kid in a way, and like I said, he got caught up as a kid. He's still a kid, and I feel like his image right now is better. Like people are loving him more right now. Like you're out there, how me and you are. We live in the same neighborhoods that we did. People mad at us. We walk around. We do what the fuck we want, and that's what I like. So this kid, he's sending a good message, and I like what he's doing, man. I really do. I support him 100%.
Well, he watched as a young kid. He watched it. If I remember right and correctly, if I got it right, I think his stepdad was about 10 years old. His stepdad got killed a couple houses down from his front door. So this kid's been through some things, and he's got PTSD, which I got. So I was paying attention to that also, what he has. And I was looking at him, and I'm saying, hey, this kid doesn't have to be or pretend to be a gangster to make these guys happy. He's just who he is. That's what I like about him. His tattoos, the way he wants them on his face, and whatever he does, his colors that he wears, his hair. I mean, this kid really, unless somebody's hating on him and is saying, listen, he doesn't have to dress like me. He doesn't have to look like me. And that guy's one thing I got to say, he's his own man. This kid acts the way he wants to act. And that's the good part of him. And that's the message that he can reach these young kids like you can reach them in your age group with the mob world.
And what gets me mad is I really do, and I want to say this again, I hate when these rappers pretend like they were killing and shooting and like, don't you're doing that to sell like records. Don't pretend and try to promote violence on this kid, because half of yous never would bust a grape in a fruit fight. So don't talk like use about it and use all this and trying to get this kid in trouble and say things about him when the kid, he's a young kid, man. Don't come at him like that. You're older dudes. You shouldn't be even getting involved. Guys are trying to promote violence on him. That's pathetic, man. It really is. That's all I have to say.
This kid could have a super life right. And I'm not talking, super life that nobody can imagine. He can hit every country. He could be one of the most famous rappers out there, the famous musicians out there. He can dance. He's bilingual. This kid can have a super life that, why should he spend his life? Let somebody explain that to me just out of hate. You want him to spend his life in a cage, 50 years in a cage? instead he could be a positive influence on kids and have the best of everything.
Right.
I'm not even talking materialistic stuff, just the best of the world experiencing it.
And you know what's so funny? Because when he went into jail, his own gang jumped him. So how would you expect this kid to stand up when his own people are jumping him and attacking him? And the kid's in jail. You're supposed to look out for him. Why are you attacking him? So it's like, I don't understand that, man. I just really don't how they're even bothering him right now. The kid got nothing but betrayal. They all turned on him. They disrespected him. Went with his girlfriend. All kinds of things. It's just not right, man. You know.
Well, he's got a hell of a life coming forward. So.
Yeah.
If I was him, I wouldn't bite back into it, which I don't think he is. Like I said, I don't think he's losing a wink of sleep. And I think also that as he keeps making money and getting further away from this nonsense, he shouldn't even think about it. He should keep moving forward. Let the haters hate. That shows how successful he is. And I hope one thing I do want this kid to understand is to understand the street. It's treacherous. And don't put your guard down. Don't get drunk. Don't trust kids. Don't trust guys, because too many people want to see him fail now out of jealousy. And he's got to send that message. He's got a real message to send to these young guys growing up that are 15, 16, 18, 20 from all kinds of hoods, that, he could be that positive guy that everybody wants to follow. You don't got to be a negative influence with these other guys want. They want him to be negative. They want to see him slip up. They want to see him make mistakes. They want to see him get killed. They want to see him go broke. So, do the right thing, be smart, invest your money, enjoy your life, and don't even turn back and look at these guys. Leave them in the dust, man.
Absolutely. I agree 100%, man. I really do. And I like the fact that also he came out with that video. I was dying laughing. That was great.
Yeah, I actually listened to that last night.
I was laughing my ass off. That was great.
I'm a grown man that's listening to a young guy, and I laughed and I said, it might, it's funny, but on the other hand, this is what impressed me. And I don't get impressed too much with anybody in any other line of work. I don't care if they're ball players, whatever. He's just who he is. He's just an honest. He says and does how he feels. And it really, I got to tell you, got to give him a lot of credit. And again, I says, all I worry about with this kid is I want to see him enjoy his life. Don't let anybody take your life and cut it short. So you be a little vigilant and don't trust anybody. And especially even the security, because if these guys get jealous of you, they slip a word to somebody else. That's how you get hit. And for now, man, surround yourself with positive people and learn that way.
He has to really be careful because, like I said, the Bloods, I was locked up. I did a lot of Rikers Island time. They're extremely violent. And they're not washed up like the mob. There's tons of them. They're still extremely violent. And I just hate the fact that people are promoting violence on him, these rappers that half of them never did nothing in their lives. So why are you promoting to hurt the kid when you won't do it yourself? So don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't promote kids that are really in the street doing that to hurt this kid. You rappers out there, none of you never did nothing. Come on, man. You might have seen some. You really weren't out there like that, majority of you. So don't promote violence on this kid. You know what I'm saying? The kid, don't do that. He's 22 years old, 21 years old. Don't do that to him. That's all I got to say, man.
Well, you know what, Gene? I got guys, that talk to me from Germany prison. And I got guys in prisons all over the world. And there's some positive inmates in these prisons that are speaking up for them. And guys that are doing life and guys that are friends of mine that talk on a regular basis with me from all over the world. And some of these guys aren't haters, man. They're saying good for this kid, man. I hope he spreads the word so we don't end up dead in here like us. And, we're stuck here forever and we're never getting out. And I wish I had the second chance. So, the bottom line is this. There are guys within the prison system and men that are in the prison system, serious guys who are down for bodies that, stay in touch with me and really are hoping that he does well. And they're all wishing he does the right thing and he does well. And a lot of these guys in the last couple of weeks asked me to do this and speak up for them. So here I am. And you told me yourself, speak up for him last month. And I really didn't pay attention to know who he was because he's not my age group. But, the last week I did a lot of homework on this kid. And he impressed me. And, and I gave messages back to the guys from prisons that are asking me to speak for him or speak from. And the guys in the gangs, whether it's the Bloods or any other gang. I mean, you know what I always say, man, change your life so you don't end up a statistic in prison dead. And, if it's not him you're trying to shoot, it's somebody else. In this age and at this time, you might as well shoot yourself. You're going to go to jail, too. And, and it's easy to say, yeah, I'm going to do 40 years and 50 years when you're out here comfortable. But when you're in there and life's over and the lights are out and you're done in there And if you ever get out, it's when you're 60 or 70 or 80, you're going to regret that moment. So second thought, your thoughts, give your thoughts a second chance, excuse me, and reevaluate what your life's worth. Look at yourself and say, my life's worth something. My life, just like Martin Luther King Jr., who I always said, was a positive influence. So any of those kids that are out there that are black, man, this guy sacrificed his life for somebody doing positive things. Do something positive you're capable of. Maybe you can't rap like this kid and sing like this kid or dance like this kid, but don't hate on the kid. The kid's really a good kid.
And on top of that, his own people kidnapped him. Like, come on, man. It's just like, the poor, the kid went through hell and back. Like, he's going to, be mad at him. The kid, it's like, I feel for him. I really do, and I can relate to him because I'm a little younger, but I know what he went through. And people turn on you and you feel like, you're sitting there like, what am I doing this time for? No one's looking out for me. Everyone's, disrespecting me. And, it's a bad situation. Nobody knows till they're in it. Everyone just talks because I'll do 50 years. Hey, if you guys won't do a 6-5 split, come on, man. You're in jail for 4 months. You're crying. Like, come on, it's like be truthful, man. The kid, I understand you just want to talk on the computer and hurt the kid and make him sound stupid and all that, but in actuality, if you're in that situation, 90% of you are doing the same thing. So,
well, Gene, these guys, a lot of these guys in the talk, some of them are tough kids. Some of them are. But that still doesn't give them the right to tell this kid to lose his life. And, they weren't through. I spent 2 decades in and out of prisons. I've been shot up. I've been stabbed up 2 different occasions. I've been battered. I spent years in solitary confinements. I spent time in the Brazilian penitentiaries and people that don't know. So I'm telling them, I don't want to see one kid go waste 20 years in prisons. I don't want to see one kid get killed. I don't want to see a kid get shot up. I want them to have a good life, man. Change their life. They don't got to end up like me, coming out here trying to promote you kids to have a good life. And you ain't getting no kudos by going out in the street and killing anybody, because you're not Mike Tyson getting in the ring being a legitimate tough guy. Because if you really want to be that way and you want that reputation as a tough guy, go be Mike Tyson. Because Tyson was a tough son of a bitch, and Tyson's a gentleman. I mean, I don't think these guys really understand Tyson. He had a rough life too. He got screwed over by a lot of his people. So, when you want to look at somebody to look up to somebody like that. And lay off the kids like this kid.
Yeah, Tyson's making money too. Everyone hated on him for a while. I think he's doing good, but also want to say
he was successful. That's life. I get a lot of haters, so it's just life.
Better than, because I know what happened to me. Like, I have so many people reaching out to me, and some people, this is pretty crazy for the people to hear. Some of my victims reach out to me and say, Gene, why'd you do that to me? And I tell them, I'm sorry, I got caught up in the life. I'm saying, it's nothing personal. A lot of guys contact me and say, Gene, you hurt me, you did this to me, you did that to me, and why'd you do that to me? And I tell them, I was loyal to something that was a mirage. It was bullshit. And if I ever hurt you and I did anything to you, I'm sorry. And a lot of people say, oh, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. That makes me feel better than anything in the world. You know what I mean? That people actually forgive me and they're looking past it. And that makes me feel better than anything. And that's no bullshit, man. So.
Well, you're another guy. I mean, again, you guys are young, man. You got your whole life ahead of you. And you're like a positive energy guy, too. You're full of energy.
Right.
And that's what life's about. You ain't supposed to be in a cage like some dog, some gorilla,
right.
It's terrible when you're thinking about all these young guys. And Chi-Chi's going to come on, and I'll end it with this. Chi-Chi's going to come on, and he actually looks just like this kid. And that's what made me really like this kid, because he has the same look as him, hair, everything, size, energy. And Chi-Chi's going to come on and talk about when he was a kid, and he spent years in prisons for murder and gang activity when MS-13. He was a serious kid. This is not like some kid that didn't put in some serious work. So when he comes on and guys and can hear their story, and Chi-Chi's doing real well now. I mean, he's moving around, and he's got he's really got a great business, and he turns his life around. And that's what I want to see. And I hope I see more kids like this. And I'll end it on my end. I don't know if you have anything else to say, but you guys coming soon, and so he knows we're behind him, and we wish him well, and we got his back.
Absolutely. I'm happy for the kid. I really am. And that's no bull crap. I really am. I seen his message. I liked everything he had to say. I like what he's doing. Everybody stay safe, all right?
All right, everybody out. See you.
Take care, man.